One of my favorite internet memes of all time goes like this. The risk I took was calculated, but man am I bad at math. If you don't know the story about my ZZ plant, let me just tell you about it, because this is my ZZ plant. It goes in this cover pot. I have had this ZZ plant for almost exactly 2 years. So 2 years ago, what happened 2 years ago? Okay, the panini started and the whole world started to lock down. I had seen this ZZ plant at Zara's, which is a local grocery store, and then I still work, but at the time specifically I worked in news, so I kind of knew that everything was about to close down, and literally the day that things were going to start to close, I went back to the grocery store, booked it in on my way home from work to rescue this ZZ plant, because I wanted it, and I've had it ever since, and it's been a great friend to me. But I've never repotted it, and I really hate the soil that it's in. I've always hated it. It's just, it's yucky. It doesn't feel like it has any nutrients. It never has felt that way. I really never water this, so that part of that is probably partially my fault, but it's just awful. So I decided I wanted to pop this ZZ plant up, give it a nice little refresh for its, second year anniversary. So I went out today and I bought a new pot for it, but I misjudged how big this pot was, because really you're only supposed to go about one pot size up when you repot. So, no, let's just give you the accurate. This is the pot that it's in, and this is the pot that I bought. So this is much larger than I thought it was. This is the bottom of the pot. I'm hoping it'll be fine because I don't have another pot. I mean, I have one more. It's bigger around, but it's not taller, and there are roots coming out the bottom of this. You can't really see them because they're like pushed up. But there are, it really probably should be fine, and I'm not going to fill this with dirt all the way to the top, so we're just going to go for it anyway. I don't think ZZ plants die that easy. I think they're probably pretty hardy. So this here is my potting mixture that I recently started doing differently than I had before. So ZZ plant's going to be a little bit of an experiment in that sense. So in here we have potting soil, of course. Let me put the lid underneath. Pumice, worm castings, cork bark, Repotting, charcoal. So the only thing I don't like about the charcoal is some of the pieces are quite big. That's pretty much what's in here. Should be a nicer mixture for this plant. I haven't repotted a plant in so long. I'm kind of excited about this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get my hair out of my face. I will admit I am a little nervous about doing this because, oh my god, I can feel how hard the roots are. Maybe it'll actually appreciate the room to grow. And then I'll have this pot here for other plants, because I have quite a few plants that I want to pot up this year because they've got hella roots coming out the bottom. More so than this one. This one's roots aren't that bad. It probably could last a little bit longer. But I just hate this dirt so much. I mean, it's grocery store dirt. It's not like I bought this from a nursery, but, oh, here we go. Look at those. So I am going to keep the pot, obviously. We're just going to set this here. We're going to break up some of this musty soil. Some of the root pieces are breaking off with it, but I think those are mostly going to be old roots. Because there have been pieces of this plant that have died off at separate points. I'm not going to break up the root ball too much though, because I still want all the pieces to stand. So now we're going to pick this buddy back up. I'm very excited about this. I'm going to hold it over the soil pot. Oh god, that's going to take forever. Let me just start scooping it in. Oh my god, imagine I use like all the dirt in my little tub for this. How low do you think these should sit? Maybe a little bit higher? Oh my god, I just threw a whole bunch of dirt on the floor. I need to deeper spade is what I'm hearing. Woo! If all that soil's gonna break off, I don't want it to break off inside. We're getting there, y'all. A second instance of me being bad at math. I really underestimated the amount of mess this was going to make. The best part of this whole thing is going to be when I get to water it after. I'm going to stick it on my little wire/metal plant stand behind me, and I'm going to put a bowl underneath it, and I'm just going to give her. Let her drip dry. I just threw dirt all over myself again. Next time, remind me to do this with like a tarp on the ground. I have been toying with the idea lately of getting this ZZ plant its own light, because it sits over there by my computer screen. So it kind of probably gets the least amount of sunlight in the entire room. I'm gonna have to make more freaking soil. Not for this plant, soil. I'm gonna have to do that in general. Why is this guy being so floppy? Almost done, almost done. This is my first repotting of 2022. I bought a lot of my plants in 2019 and 2020, so I can imagine that there will be a couple more repots this year. I think that's it. Oh, you're heavy. So I think this is my repotted ZZ plant. I'm going to do my best to tidy up a little bit. And then we're going to water it, and I'll show you that. I like to water until water is really flowing out the bottom. Well, my watering can is empty now. Memo to me, it will take a whole watering can to water this in the future. Water's only coming out when I splash it like that. Yeah, there we go. Water's dripping now. Okay, so even though my camera battery is dying, I decided that while that still sort of drip dries over there, we're going to make some more soil because I did use about half of this container just there. So I'm going to show you the very scientific way I've been making my soil lately, which is eyeballing a whole bunch of stuff. So this potting soil is $1 a bag at Walmart, and out of all the cheapy potting soils I've used, this one has been my favorite. Okay, so this potting soil is pretty much just, what does it say it has in it on the back? Humus, sphagnum peat moss, sand, and perlite. But it's got barely any perlite in it, let me tell you. It's a very dense soil, and that's why I like it, because it leaves me a lot of room to do other things with it. Just gonna sit that here. Does that block the camera? A little bit. So now we're gonna do pumice. Now this is a new pumice that I've been trying. I bought this one off of Amazon. I like it because it wasn't as expensive as the other pumices are. Now someone out there is going to say, Abby, why do you use pumice? Well, pumice is a lot like perlite in the sense that it just creates aeration in the soil, but because pumice is heavier than perlite, it doesn't float to the top the way perlite does. So if you look at a plant that's been in a pot for a long time, it has a lot of perlite on top, and that's because the perlite, as you water it, floats up. Whereas pumice isn't going to do that. So this is my charcoal. That was more than I meant to, but okay. Charcoal is also good for aeration, especially because my chunks are kind of big. But I also think I read somewhere that it's good at fighting off like bacteria problems. So that's the main reason I use it. These are worm castings. This company is in Toronto, and I bought them off of Amazon, but I know some of my reptile companies that I like use it. So this is going to add some of that denseness in. That like the peat stuff does, so I don't like to add a ton. And if you're wondering what worm castings are, they are worm poop, and it's good fertilizer for plants. Some more reptid bark. I mean, just honestly, at this point, we're only adding the reptid bark so that I can get through it and get rid of this bag. I don't know that I feel like this is integral to my planty experience, but I really just want the bag gone. And just for good measure, we'll throw in some perlite. But like, not a lot. Alright, y'all, time to mix it up and see what happens. That looks like a good chunky mix to me. God, I'm so good at guessing things. I still feel like I don't have as much dirt in here as I started out with. And yeah, so that's how I've been making my soil mixture lately. I don't know that I can tell you that's a positive thing or a negative thing, because not a lot of time has elapsed. So anything that I planted in this, I don't really know if it's going to live or if it's going to die, what's going on. But so far, everything's been fine. My Haworthia, which is like a little succulent, wherever that is back there, it's planted in this. My ZZ plant now. There's a couple other things that I planted recently in this, and it's been okay. But so far, so good. This is what I've been doing. I'm sure there will be many more planting videos from me in the near future this year, this growing season especially, because I've started trying to grow a bunch of my own herbs, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, this is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I pot my ZZ plant and make up some soil. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed already. We do videos based on my animals here, plant videos about me being disabled. You get like a mishmash of stuff over here, but I hope it's always fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed already, and I will see you next time. Bye!